Hi, I'm Bill Cook from University of Arizona Cooperative Extension in Greenlee County. Today we're going to talk a little bit about mixing your own potting soil as opposed to just purchasing it ready-made. There's a few advantages to making your own soil. The first and most obvious being the cost. This much stuff in store-bought would be really, really expensive. And you can make your own from local ingredients for a fraction of the cost. So if you're using a lot, it's probably a good idea to mix your own. The other advantage is that you have a little more control over the potting soil, the texture, even down to the pH. So you have a lot more control and you can specify a purpose. You can create a potting soil very specific to a very specific purpose. So I use locally available ingredients that I buy at the nursery where you can buy materials in bulk, haul them yourself. I go to the Public Works in Sierra Vista and get a pickup load of compost. It's all just a really good way to go, and you can adjust your mix to what's available locally or what's even available year to year. A fine example on our recipes list, which will be included with this video, coarse wood chips. Now, I go buy these by the pickup load, figuring a cubic yard of potting soil will fill about 55-gallon nursery containers and about 220 one-gallon nursery containers. Big cost saving. But from one year to the next, you can see that this does not have a lot of fine material in it. Some years there's more, some years there's less. So you have to play with it a little bit. On the wood chips, the one thing, the most important thing wherever you're getting them, is smell them. They should smell like forest soil, like the duff under the pine trees up in the mountains. If it has a strong piney scent, don't use it. That means there's still a lot of the pine sap in it, and pine sap has a detrimental effect on growing plants. This has been on a pile for a while. This is mainly fir, that sort of thing, byproduct of the lumber industry. So the other item I use quite a bit of is volcanic cinders. And depending on where you are, you can get these pretty cheap by the truckload. This is a 3/4 inch screened volcanic cinder. What that means is that they ran these cinders over a 3/4 inch screen, and everything that fell through it is 3/4 minus. So it's from the term 3/4 minus means from 3/4 of an inch on down to the sand. Cinders are nice because they are very acidic and they will help to acidify your potting mix. I use also a lot of a fine wood mulch, which I don't have in front of me right now, but in place of that often I use Coir. I particularly like Coir because it's a renewable product. It's ground up coconut husk. It's reasonably inexpensive. Comes in a compressed brick. You just throw it in 9 gallons of water, it swells up, and you have Coir. So this is a real good product to use. It has a neutral pH. So when you're using this, and if you're going so far as to adjust your pH, you can adjust your quantities of different things to get the pH you're after, as long as you remain within the parameters of the plant requirements and drainage and air. This is finished compost. Now, I also get this in Sierra Vista at the Public Works, and by finished compost, I mean it really is compost. It's completely composted, or mostly. You can see there's still a few sticks in there. But this is really good stuff. If you're purchasing compost in a bag, beware, read the bag carefully. There is a difference in bagged products between something labeled compost and something labeled composted. Composted may not be completely composted. It's just been composted some. So this is pumice, which is also purchased bulk in the back of my pickup truck. And this is a 3/8 inch screened minus, 1/4 inch minus, meaning that it's what goes through a 1/4 or 3/8 inch screen. This is also mildly acidic, but nearly neutral. So the advantages of the cinders, or the pumice, or vermiculite or perlite if you choose, it's also locally available in a smaller quantity. What this does is that these help to promote drainage. And you can see they're somewhat porous and irregular. So they help a little bit with drainage. They give small pockets in this porous material for the good things in the soil, the bacteria and all that good stuff to hang out and grow. And they are also light in weight. One of the things you got to watch out for when you start filling pots or containers is that it can get pretty darn heavy when it's wet. So besides the fact that you may have to move it around, if it's feeling real heavy, well, that probably means it's getting waterlogged and not much air, and the plants do need air. So these are the ingredients that I have on hand that we're going to use to mix a little bit of potting soil for some very specific purposes today. And we'll talk about that in a minute.